The moment that I realized that my mom was in the early stages of dementia, my life took a turn because I saw this once brilliant intellectual woman losing her cognitive abilities and becoming more childlike every day. I couldn't help but think, is that how I'm going to end up? Is there anything I can do to prevent this? And that was the beginning of my transformation. I'm Betty, and what I do on this channel is that I dig in to find ways that we can make the last years of our lives the best ones ever. And in this video, I want to show you the very first thing that you need to do if you want to avoid things like dementia, but not only that, but many other problems that are associated with aging. Now, people used to tell me all the time that I was just like my mom, but intellectually, she just ran circles around me. She was so smart. I always wished I could be that smart. But when I saw her sink into dementia, it just broke my heart. And my thoughts turned to my own future. Is there anything that I could do to avoid getting dementia, to keep my mind sharp? And not only that, to avoid the effect that that would have on my family and on the people around me. Sometimes I'd tell my family, half jokingly, that I didn't want them to have to change my diapers when I was 90, and that would give them a laugh. But really, I was pretty serious about that. And I realized that I really needed to dig in and find out what I could do to prevent dementia in my own life. I knew I needed more than just a few tricks or tips or a video about 7 ways to have a sharp mind. I needed more than that. I needed something that could really make a change. And the results of that was a transformation in my own lifestyle, and I haven't turned back. Have you thought about the problems that you would want to avoid when you get older? Maybe it is dementia, or maybe it's something else like mobility problems, arthritis, or heart problems. Have you tried to make a difference in that, but just lost the motivation to do it? In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 elements that gave me the strength that I needed to keep going and make those changes in my lifestyle. And these elements are essential for whatever kind of a change you want to make in your life, in your health, whether it's your physical health, your cognitive health, or even your emotional health. And really, the solutions for these are all very similar. It's a change in lifestyle, and it might be a big change, it might be a small change, it all depends on how you've been living. But the thing is that if you start off right, then you're going to be able to see the effect that it's going to have in your life. Now, the first part of this is that you may need to redefine pleasure and comfort in your life. And what I mean by that is that a lot of us can think that when we retire and when we're not working that job anymore, then we can have pleasure, we can be comfortable, we can just sit back and relax and do nothing. And if that's what pleasure means to you, then that may not be what you need to extend that pleasure to the rest of your life. And comfort, if what comfort means to you is sitting in a cushy chair and eating whatever you want, knit or read or watch TV, then that's really not the kind of comfort that's going to last. Because I'll tell you something, bad health is not comfortable. And if we want to stay comfortable, we might have to challenge ourselves a little bit. If you decide to work on the things that are going to give you better health for the rest of your life, this can be a challenge, but these challenges are going to give you a much deeper pleasure in your life in the long run. Now, the second element to this is that you need to have people in your life that motivate you and inspire you to keep going. Now, I say motivate and inspire because really it works best if you have a negative example and a positive example. Now, for me, that negative example is my mom. I think about her and I think about what she went through and how I don't want to have to go through the same thing. And that just motivates me to keep going because I know what can happen if I don't. And on the other hand, you need to have a positive example, somebody that shows you that it can be done, whatever it is that you're trying to prevent. Now, my positive example is Professor Phil Stein. We would call him Uncle Phil, but he was a godly man, a doctor and a university professor. And in fact, it was just a few days ago that he passed from this earth, just a couple of weeks short of his 95th birthday. But up until the end, he was sharp and intelligent. Every day he would write a devotional message and send it out to a large list of people on social media. But he was an example to me of somebody with a sharp mind almost all the way up to the age of 95. And I think, well, if he can make it to 95 that way, I want to be just like him. And if you have those examples in your life of people that inspire you that you can do it, or somebody that motivates you and just triggers you to get moving so that something won't happen to you, that will give you the strength that you need every day to do the things that might not be easy, but the things are necessary to make that transformation happen in your own life. And the third thing is that you need to make a commitment to get the information that you need. Now, this would be personalized. It's not the same for everybody, but there's no excuse anymore not to dig in and get information. It's so easy. Now, I know you're going to find a lot of information that conflicts because not all of the experts agree. I made a video about that that might help you to kind of pick through the information and find out what's right for you. But find out the information that you need for your specific situation. And as you do that, make a plan for your life. First steps, next steps, and ways that you can move into a lifestyle that's going to support the health that you need for the rest of your life. Now, I've made several videos that deal with subjects like this that can give you an idea of the journey that I've been on in my transformation. I'm not going to say that I've arrived, but you'll find that as you move along on this path, that you're going to be able to see the results in your life in strength and health and purpose that's going to make your life even more worth living. And I know that if I can do it, that you can do it too. So let's keep this conversation going. Now, YouTube really is a two-way street. I know you're looking at me right now, but if you leave a comment below, then I can see you too. But really, if you want to comment, I'd love to know what you think about this. I'd love to know what your concerns are about aging. And that can even help me to dig in and make some more videos about that. But I really appreciate you sticking with me in this video. And I'm going to leave a playlist up at the end of this video that you can take a look at that I think will be interesting to you. And thanks for watching. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.